Welcome back to Newswire LA, and we continue our coverage of the City of Los Angeles' Bureau of Streetlighting Department. Let's get back to our interview with Bureau Chief Ed Ibrahimian. Let's get back to the Public Works Building in downtown Los Angeles. Okay, so neighborhoods like the Hancock Park, Windsor Park, they don't have to worry just yet about their incandescents going anywhere at this point.
No, I don't think so, because frankly the technology is not there yet. So right now we are only converting the major or the modern type style streetlights to LED, and we have frankly 3 more years to go working on that project.
So how much does a program like this cost the department?
Well, the whole program, initially when we put the program together, was at $57 million, and majority of the funding is coming from a loan, energy efficiency loan, that we were able to obtain from the Department of Water and Power, and we are basically paying back the loan with the energy that we are saving on our electricity bills to the Department of Water and Power. The program will pay back the loan. Initially was about 7 years, and now we're looking at maybe 6.5 years. We'll pay back the loan to the Department of Water and Power. And then we can possibly realize approximately $7 million on energy savings that we can use that money to basically convert our older infrastructure that exists in the city.
All right. Have you, over the course of doing taking on this particular undertaking, have you spoken with your counterparts around the country who are also doing that, and what are their thoughts?
Oh yes, we've been contacted actually with a lot of cities throughout the country. Actually, a lot of cities, municipalities, utility companies throughout the world. There is a lot of interest in all over the world for energy efficiency as we are today. And we have seen some conversions, speaking of the USA, in the Seattle area, they've already started converting some of the lights to LED. New York is going to convert all the streetlights in Central Park to LED. I know there is some other conversions going on in San Diego, if I'm not mistaken, to energy efficient light source, not necessarily LED. But this is something that's happening all over the world. Energy efficiency and sustainability and green initiatives is something that is really resonating throughout the world.
Are your people working 24/7 out there on the systems throughout the city? No, we have actually the regular shift where our maintenance crews are out there fixing streetlights. But in addition to that, we have one night crew that they start late at around 11:30. We call them graveyard shift, and they work all the way to the morning. And it's something that we've started about 6 years ago, and it's really paying off because of the fact that streetlights are operating at nights, and just the fact that a truck driver or a maintenance crew is driving at night, they can easily see the lights that are out and make the repairs. So we have basically, we're working 2 shifts as opposed to 3 shifts, which will qualify for 24/7. When new developments are built in the city of Los Angeles, in addition to a sidewalk system, a road system, and other things, we see a streetlight system going in. Are those streetlights put into those developments by the Bureau of Streetlighting, or is that something that the developers are supposed to do as part of building those developments?
Well, yeah, that's what I mentioned earlier. Unfortunately, in the 50s, when the valley was being built, the city didn't have a condition for streetlightings, and I call it condition because it's something that the developer has to satisfy that condition. And because of that, parts of the city today doesn't have lights.
But since about maybe 30, 35 years ago, we started to have a condition in place for all the development in the city to satisfy street lighting installations. And that's how basically we add new street lighting in parts of the city that doesn't have street lights. So the developer basically prepares the plans. We review the plans, we approve them here, and the developer installs the street lights in the subdivisions, new subdivisions.
All right. Now let's go. Let's say we're one of those older neighborhoods from the 1950s, and I come to you. I'm the president of the neighborhood community, and I say, Mr. EBRAHIMIAN, our street's really dark up here. I'd like to get some street lights. Let's do it. What do I have to do?
The answer is no question. We can do it for you. What we have to do is we have to get the buy-in from everyone in the neighborhood. We basically do a straw vote and see if there is interest in the neighborhood, majority interest in the neighborhood to have streetlights. And if that's the case, then we form an assessment. We call it street lighting construction assessment, that funds basically for the installation of the street lights. And also we form a maintenance, street lighting maintenance assessment fund, which is a small figure, basically pays for the electricity and operations of the street light. And we get it out to the neighborhood. We get it approved by majority, well, by 50+1 of all the I guess parcels in that neighborhood. And once that happens, we get a contractor, we install the street lights, and then you have a street light in your neighborhood that you didn't have before.
All right. And getting back to basics, let's say the street lamp that's sitting outside of my house right now is burned out. How do I get that? How do I get that fixed? And what's your general turnaround time from the time a call arrives in to the time a bulb is replaced?
Well, first of all, if you see a street light out, call 311. 311 has access to our service request system, and they directly input the information there. If there's no answer there, you can call here, Bureau of Street Lighting, and we get the call. The general time, it used to be before all this financial impact to the city operations, we were about 3 days. In 3 days, we will be able to fix a single light outage, we call it, and that's one street light out in front of your property. Now, today, because of the vacancies and difficulties that we have, it's about 5.5, 6 days. We repair them in 6 days. So still within 1 week, we will go out there and repair a street light that is out. Now, there are some outages that are extensive. It needs extensive work, a lot of construction, digging the conduit out and doing new wiring. Those are the ones that will take a little bit longer time. But overall, for the single light outages, the turnaround time is about 6 days.
All right. And as we wrap it up, again, we thank you. Are there any parting thoughts that you would like to leave the viewers with Los Angeles? What do you want us to know about your department?
Well, there's one thing that I like to take this opportunity and share with all the viewers is that we are being hit by wire theft in the streetlights in the city of Los Angeles, all over the city. It's isolated in some areas, but once we address one area, it's being moved to the other areas. I just want to make sure that the citizens who are seeing crews working or people working on the street lighting infrastructure are city employees, and their licenses are, the license plates on the cars are exempt license plates. If they're not, they need to ask them and to see if they're contractors working for the city of Los Angeles. If not, they need to call 911, because this is a problem that is happening all over the city, and it's something that we need help from the citizens to identify, because police is not out there all the time to patrol the street lights or the streets in the city. So we need citizens' help to let us know if you see suspicious activities, if you see private people pulling wire from the pull boxes of the street lights. They need to call 911 so we could send the police over and arrest these individuals. It's something that we need to stop in the city of Los Angeles, because it creates a lot of outages all over the neighborhoods, a lot of neighborhoods. Once the wires are out, it takes us a long time to go back there and install the wiring.
And so in general, if you don't see that orange truck out there with the city seal on it marked Bureau of Street Lighting, except for in certain instances, be suspicious.
Be suspicious, go ask questions, and they usually come in and do open the pull boxes during the day, and they cut the wires during the day, and then they come back at night, middle of the night, and pull the wires at night. This is as a result of the copper wire or the copper as a whole being at I guess all-time high. It's about $4.50 a pound if I'm not mistaken. So what happens, during the day they come and they cut the wires and make it ready for at night, and then in the middle of the night they come and pull the wires. So yes, if you see and you're suspicious, it means that you can call 911. If they don't have the city seal and they don't look like contractors, we need the police out there to arrest them.
All right. Any other thoughts, Mr. EBRAHIMIAN?
No, I just wanted to thank you for the opportunity, and bright lights, safe nights.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
And that's it for this edition of Newswire LA. We thank you for joining us. Make sure you come back for part 2 of our continuing look at the Bureau of Street Lighting. You'll find us out on the streets with street lighting crews, observing them keeping our street lighting system in service and our streets lit. We'll also take you on an informal tour of the Street Lighting Museum that's set up at one of the regional work yards. So until that time, if you want to keep up with Newswire LA, look us up on Facebook. If you also want to keep up with the latest headlines, follow us on Twitter at Newswire LA. I'm Chin THAMMASAENGSRI. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you back here next time.